Let me tell you something right now. You gotta focus on yourself if you wanna get mentally stronger. There's no secret formula, no shortcut. It's all about you, your mindset, your discipline, your determination. You gotta stop looking around at what other people are doing. Stop worrying about what everyone else is saying, and put your energy into your own growth. You want strength, real strength. It starts in here, points to head, and points to heart. It starts with your thoughts. You are what you think. You gotta feed your mind the right things. You gotta read, learn, challenge yourself. If you're sitting around waiting for somebody else to motivate you, waiting for the world to give you a hand, you're setting yourself up for failure. Ain't nobody coming to save you. Life's tough, all right, but that's the test. You can't go through life without developing mental toughness. It's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get back up. You got a choice. You can either let your struggles define you, or you can use them to build yourself into something better, something stronger. It's up to you. Stop blaming the world for your problems. Stop waiting for things to change. Change your mindset. Change your habits. Get your mind right and watch everything else fall into place. It's not about the circumstances. It's about how you react to them. When you focus on yourself, you're taking control of your own destiny. You're building that mental muscle, piece by piece. You get stronger every day, every single day. In today's world, we're constantly bombarded with images of other people's lives. Social media, news, advertisements, all designed to make us look outward. We see the success of others, their achievements, their relationships, their status, and before we know it, we start comparing ourselves to them. It's a dangerous trap. Why? Because when you're looking at someone else, you're taking your focus off of yourself, and your growth gets pushed to the back burner. Think about it for a moment. How much time do you spend looking at other people's lives, whether it's scrolling through social media or watching the success stories on TV or the internet? Now, there's nothing wrong with being inspired by someone else's journey, but there's a big difference between inspiration and obsession. Too often, we take inspiration and turn it into self-doubt. We see someone who's made it big, and instead of thinking, I can do that too, we start thinking, I'll never be as good as them. That's the moment when comparison starts to steal your joy, your purpose, and most importantly, your growth. When you focus too much on others, you take away the power that you have to shape your own future. Every minute spent comparing yourself to someone else is a minute lost. It's a minute you could have spent developing your own unique talents, your own ideas, your own dreams. The first step in achieving true mental strength is understanding that your path is your path, and no one else's journey should dictate how you measure your own success. The reality is, everyone's journey is different. You don't know the full story behind what someone else is going through. The picture they show you on Instagram, the successes they boast about, might only be the highlight reel. What you don't see is the hard work, the sacrifices, the failures they've endured to get where they are. But you know what? You don't need to know all that. What you need to know is that your journey is unique to you. Your struggles, your victories, your setbacks, they are all part of what makes you stronger, and they are all necessary for your growth. Imagine if you spent as much time nurturing your own potential as you do watching others. Imagine putting that energy into developing your skills, your mindset, your focus. When you stop looking around at everyone else, you give yourself the freedom to grow without limitations. You give yourself the space to create your own path and move forward without the burden of measuring yourself against someone else's timeline. Focus on your own growth means dedicating time to understand who you are and what you're capable of. It means developing the discipline to work on your weaknesses and cultivate your strengths. It means being honest with yourself about where you are and where you want to go, without worrying about where anyone else is in their journey. It's about setting your own pace, defining your own success, and trusting the process. You'll learn that comparison doesn't help you move forward. It only keeps you stuck in the past, stuck in a cycle of self-doubt and frustration. Think about this. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by focusing on others. They got there by honing in on their own strengths, their own passions, their own ideas. Whether you're a world-class athlete, a successful entrepreneur, or a renowned artist, the common denominator is a relentless focus on self-improvement. They learned early on that the only competition that matters is the person they see in the mirror. They didn't get distracted by what others were doing or how fast they were moving. They simply focused on their own journey, and that's what allowed them to get ahead. When you focus on your growth, you shift your attention to what you can control, your effort, your attitude, and your actions. You stop blaming circumstances or the success of others for where you are in life. Instead, you take full responsibility for your path, and that gives you the power to make changes, take risks, and create opportunities that are aligned with your true potential. There is an incredible freedom that comes with this kind of mindset. You no longer feel like you're competing with everyone around you. You're only competing with who you were yesterday, striving to be better, to push further, to break your own personal records. But focusing on yourself doesn't mean you become selfish or isolated. It doesn't mean you stop supporting others or learning from their successes. It simply means you stop measuring your value by what someone else is doing or achieving. It means you stop seeking validation from external sources and start seeking it from within. The more you focus on your own growth, the less you need to rely on the approval of others to feel good about yourself. You start to build confidence not on what others think of you, but on the work you've put in and the progress you've made. One of the biggest traps we fall into when comparing ourselves to others is thinking that we're too late, that we've missed our chance. But the truth is, it's never too late to start focusing on yourself. It doesn't matter where you are in life right now, or how far you think you've fallen behind. What matters is that you take the first step toward your own growth. The moment you make the decision to focus on your own development, the moment you make the choice to invest in yourself, you put yourself on the path toward mental strength. Remember, mental strength isn't built overnight. It's not a one-time thing you can achieve and then forget about. It's a continuous process. Every day, every moment, you're either building mental strength or weakening it. By focusing on your growth, you create a solid foundation, brick by brick. Each challenge you face, each setback you overcome, is another layer of strength being added to your mental fortitude. It's also important to recognize that growth isn't always linear. There will be days when you feel like you're on top of the world, and there will be days when you feel like you're back at square one. That's part of the process. But by focusing on yourself, by staying committed to your growth, you build resilience. You learn to ride the highs and weather the lows. You become less dependent on external circumstances and more reliant on your own inner strength. In the end, it's not about how fast you're moving compared to others. It's about how far you're willing to go, how deep you're willing to dig, and how much you're willing to invest in your own growth. When you stop focusing on others and start focusing on yourself, you unlock a power that's already inside of you. The only thing standing between you and your success is your willingness to believe in yourself and commit to the journey of growth. Don't let distractions take you off course. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and remember that the only comparison that matters is the one you make with the person you were yesterday. The power of the mind is often underestimated. We tend to focus on external factors, the world around us, our circumstances, our environment, and we forget that the true source of strength lies within. It lies in how we think, how we perceive the challenges we face, and how we respond to the situations that life throws at us. Mental strength doesn't come from being unaffected by the trials you encounter. It comes from your ability to adapt, to endure, and to push forward no matter the obstacles. First, let's talk about mindset. Your mindset is the foundation of everything. It dictates how you see the world, how you interpret events, and most importantly, how you handle adversity. A fixed mindset, which is based on the belief that your abilities and intelligence are set in stone, will limit your potential. If you think you're just not good enough, or too old, or too young, or not lucky enough, then you've already placed a ceiling on your growth. But a growth mindset, the belief that you can improve, that you can learn, that you can evolve, is where real strength starts. This mindset is the key to unlocking your potential. Think about the times in your life when things didn't go as planned. It's easy to get discouraged, frustrated, or even angry. It's easy to throw your hands up and say, "That's it, I can't do this." But the truth is, those moments of challenge are precisely where your strength is built. Your mindset in those moments determines whether you crumble or rise. It's your choice. You have the power to decide whether you'll allow setbacks to define you or whether you'll view them as opportunities to learn, grow, and get stronger. When you choose to see obstacles as temporary, when you choose to believe that every failure is just another step toward success, you're shifting your mindset from defeat to empowerment. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances, and instead you see yourself as a conqueror of them. Life is not going to give you everything you want when you want it. That's just not how it works. But what it will give you is the ability to rise up, to fight, to keep moving forward, no matter how difficult it gets. And that ability comes from within. But it's not just about your mindset. It's also about your reactions. How you react to what happens to you is just as important as how you think about it. Life is full of surprises. Some are good, some are bad, and many are unexpected. But one thing you can always control is your response. The way you respond to adversity will determine whether you remain mentally strong or whether you let life's challenges break you. One of the key aspects of mental strength is emotional control. When things go wrong, it's natural to feel frustrated, angry, or even hopeless. These emotions are part of being human, and there's nothing wrong with feeling them. But what separates the mentally strong from the mentally weak is how you deal with those emotions. If you let anger, fear, or sadness dictate your actions, you're giving those emotions power over you. And when emotions control your behavior, you lose control over your life. Mentally strong people have learned how to manage their emotions in a healthy way. They acknowledge their feelings, but they don't allow those feelings to hijack their ability to think clearly and make good decisions. They understand that emotions, no matter how intense, are temporary, and they know that the most powerful thing they can do in moments of distress is to stay calm, stay focused, and take action. When you master your emotions, you gain a sense of control that allows you to respond with clarity and purpose, even in the most challenging times. Another key to developing mental strength through reactions is learning how to embrace discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you're forced to face things that make you uncomfortable, that challenge your beliefs, and that push you beyond your limits. This could be anything from speaking in public for the first time to taking on a new responsibility at work to dealing with a personal loss. Whatever it is, it's in these moments of discomfort that your true strength is tested. When you embrace discomfort, you train yourself to handle whatever comes your way. You stop running from difficult situations and instead confront them head on. The more you face discomfort, the less it controls you. Over time, you'll realize that what once seemed terrifying or overwhelming now feels manageable, even if it's still uncomfortable. That's the power of mental strength, the ability to face adversity, not with fear, but with determination and resilience. The way you react to life's challenges also plays a major role in your resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to recover from failures, and to keep moving forward, no matter how many times you're knocked down. It's easy to stay strong when everything is going well, but the true test of your mental strength comes when things aren't going your way. Resilience is what helps you get back up when you've been knocked down, to keep going when you feel like giving up, and to rise above when life throws its worst at you. Being resilient doesn't mean pretending that you're invincible or that nothing ever hurts. It means being able to withstand adversity, to keep your eyes on your goals, and to continue moving forward even when the road gets tough. It's about choosing to keep going day after day, even when it feels like everything is against you. Resilience comes from your ability to keep showing up, even when the odds are stacked against you. When you react to hardship with resilience, you build a sense of inner strength that cannot be shaken. You begin to see yourself as someone who can handle whatever life throws at you. And that's when you realize that your true power doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from your ability to control your thoughts, to manage your emotions, and to respond to life with strength and resilience. Another important aspect of building mental strength through your reactions is your ability to stay focused on the present. Often we let our minds wander to the past or to the future, and that can lead to stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. But true mental strength comes from staying in the present moment, from dealing with what's right in front of you without letting worries about the past or future distract you. When you're able to focus on the here and now, you're better equipped to handle whatever comes your way. You make better decisions, you take more effective actions, and you're able to stay calm and collected, even in the face of adversity. This is the power of the present moment. It's the only time you have control over. By focusing on what you can do right now, you free yourself from the mental clutter that comes from overthinking, from dwelling on what's already happened, or from worrying about what might happen. At the end of the day, strength is not about being unshakable. It's about being able to bend without breaking. It's about your mindset, your reactions, and your ability to stay grounded in the face of uncertainty. The more you develop your mindset to embrace challenges, manage your emotions, and stay focused on your response, the stronger you become. When you master these aspects of mental strength, you unlock a power within you that can withstand anything. You stop being a passive participant in your life and become an active creator of your own success. You become the person who can handle anything that comes your way, because you understand that strength is not about avoiding difficulty. It's about how you face it. And how you face it ultimately will determine how far you can go. When it comes to achieving your goals and becoming mentally stronger, nothing is more important than taking control of your own destiny. Control isn't about manipulating the world around you or trying to make things happen the way you want them to. It's about understanding that you are the architect of your own life, and it is your choices, your actions, and your determination that will shape your future. You are in charge of the direction you go, and the more control you take over your life, the more empowered you become. At the core of this idea is discipline. Discipline isn't just about working hard or being productive, it's about consistency. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. It's about staying committed to your vision and your goals, even when distractions or obstacles arise. Discipline is the bridge that connects your dreams to your reality. Without discipline, your goals remain distant dreams, but with it, you turn those dreams into something tangible. Discipline is the foundation of mental strength because it requires you to make choices that may not always be comfortable, but that will pay off in the long run. It's easy to give in to temptations, to take shortcuts, or to procrastinate, but these actions ultimately lead to regret, missed opportunities, and a life that's far from fulfilling. True discipline means making the hard choices in the moment, trusting that those decisions will pay off over time. But discipline alone isn't enough. You can be disciplined, you can be consistent, but if you don't have determination, then all that discipline will go to waste. Determination is the fuel that drives you to keep going, even when the road gets tough. It's the inner fire that keeps you pushing forward, even when the world around you is telling you to quit. Determination is about having a vision and being unwilling to give up until you've reached that vision. When you combine discipline with determination, you create a powerful force within yourself. You begin to understand that no matter what happens in life, you have the ability to stay the course and push through. You see, the world will always throw challenges your way. There will always be obstacles, setbacks, and failures, but how you respond to them will determine how far you go. People with determination don't quit when they face adversity, they embrace it. They understand that every failure is a lesson, every setback is an opportunity to grow, and every challenge is a chance to prove just how strong they really are. The power of determination is rooted in your ability to keep going even when you're exhausted, discouraged, or afraid. Most people quit when they encounter the first sign of difficulty, but the truly mentally strong keep going. They've made up their minds that nothing will stop them from achieving their goals, and even though they may stumble, they rise again. Every time they fall, they get back up stronger than before. When you take control of your destiny, you no longer see yourself as a passive participant in life. You stop letting life's circumstances dictate who you are or what you do. Instead, you become an active creator of your future. You take ownership of your choices, your actions, and your results. You become accountable to yourself, and that sense of accountability drives you to work harder, be better, and do whatever it takes to reach your goals. Taking control of your destiny means that you stop waiting for the perfect moment or for the right opportunities to come along. You create your own opportunities through hard work and dedication. You understand that nothing worth having comes easy, and you're willing to do the work, no matter how long it takes or how hard it gets. You don't wait for the world to hand you success on a silver platter. You go out there and earn it, step by step, day by day. Part of taking control of your destiny is developing the self-awareness to understand what you need to improve, what you need to let go of, and what you need to embrace. This requires being brutally honest with yourself. It's easy to point fingers at the outside world, to blame others for your problems, or to use external circumstances as an excuse for not reaching your full potential. But that's a trap. Real strength comes from recognizing that your success, or lack thereof, is entirely up to you. Being self-aware means acknowledging your weaknesses and areas for growth, but it also means celebrating your strengths and building on them. You have to take a hard look at yourself and ask, what do I really want out of life? And then you need to take responsibility for making that happen. This is where determination comes into play. Once you've identified your goals, your vision, you have to be determined to stay focused on them. The road to success is rarely straight and clear. There will be twists, turns, detours, and obstacles. But if you're determined enough, you won't let any of those things derail you. One of the key components of control and determination is learning how to manage distractions. We live in a world full of distractions, where it's easy to lose focus on what really matters. Social media, television, and even the people around you can all pull your attention away from your goals. But when you take control of your destiny, you learn how to prioritize. You learn how to say no to things that don't serve your vision and yes to the things that do. This requires making sacrifices and being disciplined enough to stick to your plan, even when the world is trying to pull you in 100 different directions. Taking control of your destiny doesn't mean you're doing everything alone. It means you're being intentional about who and what you allow into your life. You seek out people who support your vision, who encourage your growth, and who challenge you to be better. You build a network of like-minded individuals who inspire you, who push you to keep going when you feel like giving up. And you remove yourself from toxic environments and negative influences that hold you back from reaching your full potential. Determination is also about resilience. It's about getting back up after every fall, dusting yourself off, and continuing to move forward. Life will not always be easy, and things will not always go your way. But resilience is what helps you persevere through the tough times. It's the ability to keep pushing forward, even when you're not seeing the results you want, even when you're doubting yourself, even when everyone around you is telling you to quit. Resilience comes from within, and it's fueled by determination. The more resilient you become, the more you realize that no matter what happens, you can handle it, you can bounce back, you can learn from your mistakes, and you can come out stronger on the other side. It's also important to understand that control and determination don't mean perfection. Nobody is perfect. You will make mistakes, you will fail, and you will face setbacks. But taking control of your destiny means learning from those mistakes, not letting them define you, and moving forward with more wisdom and more experience. Perfection is not the goal, progress is. And every day that you stay committed, every day that you put in the effort, you're making progress toward becoming the person you're meant to be. Finally, taking control of your destiny through discipline and determination means understanding that your time is limited. Life is short. You don't have forever to achieve your dreams, and you don't have forever to become the person you want to be. So, every single day counts. Every choice, every decision, every action is an opportunity to move closer to your goals or further away from them. It's up to you to decide how you'll use your time. Will you let it slip away, or will you seize it, embrace it, and use it to build the life you want? The choice is yours. And if you're disciplined enough, if you're determined enough, you can take control of your destiny and create a future that is everything you've ever dreamed of.